Hi, hey, hello. Welcome to this video. I don't know how to title this or explain what I'm going to do, but I'm going to be showing you some of like my prized possession magazines, my favorite magazines. I was kind of inspired to do this because I watched a girl talk about the current fashion magazines she purchased and whether or not, like, what she liked and didn't like about them and would she repurchase them or not. And so I have an array of magazines currently sitting in front of me. They're in no particular order, just all stacked together. So I'm just going to go one by one and show you the different ones. So my biggest one I have is the Interview magazine because I really wanted the photos of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson because I think they're really cool. I love this cover choice. I said yes, absolutely. Then I grabbed myself a Time magazine for when Hamilton moved to Ferrari. There was such shocking news. There he is. I also have a guide to the very first Las Vegas Grand Prix. I picked this up purely because I'm a fan of Daniel Ricciardo. He's my #1 favorite F1 driver off the grid who doesn't currently drive anymore. And he's in here because he got to drive the Vegas Grand Prix. And if you are in, I don't know, if you were a part of, I guess, F1 fandom, he makes a comment about like where they ask him where he wants like another F1 race to be or whatever. And he says Vegas. But at the time, that was before he was like bought out of his contract with McLaren. So began this whole thing that like Daniel was never going to make it, never got to go to the Vegas Grand Prix. And he did with AlphaTauri at the time. It's not called that anymore because they keep changing their names. Is it AlphaTauri? Yeah, it was AlphaTauri. So you got that one. Next, I grabbed the GQ with Charles and Carlos. I was in my F1 era and I was picking up everything F1. I'm not a fan of either of these homies, but nonetheless, I have this cover. And I'm glad I do. My sister loves Carlos. I'm just putting it back in its sleeve. And I feel like I'm neither here nor there with Carlos. I think he's doing a good job at Williams. And I'm unbothered by Charles. So then we have Esses, which is, I believe, I want to say it's an F1 magazine, but I think it's just purely motorsport. And I picked this one up because it talked about watch parties in New York City. But also they did a spread with Isaac Hadjar, which was my favorite rookie when he first came in because you didn't know, they opened at the US. They opened at the Australian Grand Prix for the season, and he didn't even make it out of his formation lap. He hit the wall. He was not the only one to be out. I think nearly all of the rookies were out within the first lap or two. Even it took out, I believe, Carlos. He didn't even make it through the race with the amount of rain. And so he was caught crying and everyone made fun of him, but that endeared me to him. And then Hamilton's dad went and consoled him. I was like, Hadjar. And he just seems, I think at this point he's like 19. For me, I was like, that's such a baby. He's a baby. I was like, it was so cute. He is not a baby. He is a grown person, but in adult years, not so much. And then they also had a spread on Daniel Ricciardo and his Enchanté line at his New York City pop-up. So of course, as a Ricciardo fan, I was like, oh yes, not only do I have Hadjar, but I also have Daniel. Sign me up. We have the Vanity Fair Hamilton spread, yes. Because this was at the point, because this came out, the next one came out, and the GQ one all came out at the same time. It's like they all got bids to like do fashion mags. And so I picked Lewis up because of course, why not? And what? Daniel made it onto Men's Health of it all. And so I have Daniel Ricciardo, of course. It says starring Formula One's coolest driver. Yeah, correct. On a jet ski. Look at him. For a short period of time, I wanted to get a tattoo He has a multitude of tattoos, but he has a tattoo right here that says Shine On. And for a little bit, I wanted like a matching tattoo of sorts. And I don't know if you know, but I clearly did not get it. But sometimes I'm like, I wish, the one thing that I kind of wish that celebrities would do, that's very parasocial of me, I guess, is I wish they'd have tattoo tours. Like those who have more than just like 1 or 2 tattoos would sit down and occasionally just do like, okay. Like I wish Daniel would do a tattoo tour. Who else? Hudson Williams. Honestly, yeah. And I'm like, are there any has Teffy ever done a tattoo tour? I think Teffy has done a tattoo tour. I just have to find it on TikTok. So I was like, who are heavily tattooed public women? Oh, you know who I would like to see a tattoo tour from? Ica. Hudson's groomer, for sure. And then I have a multitude of GPs. These aren't sold in the US anymore, or they went under, because I don't know if you can't get them in the UK either, but you used to be able to just get the Grand Prix, and now it's combined with Autosport. But this was back when you could still get them here, and I really just picked this one up because my favorite currently on the grid driver is Alex Albon. Albano! And I loved it because he's in his platinum blonde era, and I'm so sad that the second time I found out about FanFest, you needed to have wristbands, because I wanted to get this page signed, because I thought it'd be really cool to rip this out and like frame it. But I have not, because this was all the way back in 2023. Should he stay or should he go? I'll tell you what, he signed again. He's still there 3 years later. Then, of course, the infamous 2021 review. This was the first year I got into Formula 1, was the year of 2021, and this is just a review of everything. It makes me mad that the title fight takes up all of the photographs, because Monza 2021, besides the Wilden crash between these two men, Daniel winning, y'all, I don't know why there's not a picture of that in the, like, pictures of a year in pictures. Like, baloney butt. But alas, I have this review of the 2021 season. What a wild time to get into F1 and then to watch, to see people like battling back and forth almost every single race, and then to move into 2022 where it's just like all max, 23 where it's all max, 24 where it's all max, and then 2025. Well, I think 2024 and 2025 was a little bit of a mix of both, because 2025 is Lando won the championship. This one is so cool. I found this at a coffee shop, and it's just like soccer related stuff. It's talking about the World Cup and whatnot, and how yes, the Los Angelinos shaping soccer culture in America today. So I guess this is like a more LA based magazine. I don't know, but I just thought it was really cool. I was like, this is so neat. I don't know. So I just picked this up at my coffee shop. I said, okay, why not? I have this random soccer magazine. There's also a book, a cookbook, that's both in English and in Spanish in there, and then a poster of someone playing soccer. I think that's pretty cool. Then we have this the summer edition of Vogue, because they, for America's 250th birthday, or really since the signing of the Declaration of Independence-ish, they wanted to do something that like culminated, or was like the pinnacle of Americana, and they decided that like Texas was the state, or like the person who did this editorial felt like Texas was like the epitome of sorts of like all that is America. Or that's what the Vogue video on YouTube said, okay? Not I, a Texan, saying that. I picked it up. I'm so glad I did, because now it's no longer at Barnes & Noble. And I love it. They go to they spend some time in several places in Houston. They go to Big Ben. Like, hello? And the models are from Texas. And I thought that was really cool too. And I as a Texan, just really appreciate someone, I don't know, looking at Texas in a favorable light, because I feel like we get a really bad rep. Not saying that we don't deserve that rep, but sometimes I'm just like, damn. But really, the big thing is because they feature TSU, and I thought that was so cool. Look at them. And I didn't go to TSU, which is Texas Southern University, but they are technically, not technically, they are in fact one street away from the University of Houston. So cool. Yeah. So I picked this up because I'm not a big Vogue person, but I did want that spread that celebrated Texas. Because I also found I think it was like a 45-minute video about how they went and shot it and the ideas behind it in the process. Really interesting. So I went to go pick it up. And then we have my 3 truly prized possessions of them all. We have, of course, I put it in plastic wrap. My Wonderland of Hudson Williams. I love the editorial in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have, if you see my bathroom, one of the pictures is of him in the jock shop sipping coffee. And I just love that photograph. I love it in the pink kitchen. I love the pink coffee cup. I love the little tiny gun tattoo. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're so fun. So, I have that one. Then, one that I've recently come into owning is the Timid. Yes. Yes. I was so excited. So excited. Because I like Timid magazine. I picked it up a couple times and read through some of the articles. And I wanted this one so bad. So bad. So now I have it. So I have the Hudson Williams Timid magazine. Legacy issue. Issue 6. And honorable mention, because it's finally in the States, I pre-ordered the numero Netherlands, and that was back in April for something that dropped in May, and it's currently, I'm filming this at the midpoint of July, and I still probably won't have it till August, because apparently it has to go from the Netherlands, or it's gone from the Netherlands to the UK, then from the UK to either New York or Chicago at this current moment, because I've now officially been informed that it has made it stateside, and so they have to finish the customs processing of it all, and then they'll start shipping it out. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why it was such cheap shipping, is because it's coming like that, because the shipping, these two, easily $30. Well, not easily, they were in fact $30 with the tariffs and all the bullshit. So, and I just makes me sad, because as a global girly, like, I'm sure there are, like, really bad earth consequences for us being so, like, globalized and me being able to purchase something from, like, the Netherlands. But sometimes I'm like, oh, but, like, how beautiful that I could see art in the Netherlands and then, like, you know, like, own it or help a small artist in the Netherlands, because I love Etsy, and the amount of, like, random small countries that I've just purchased art from. Oh, I love it. But I'm sure maybe it's not best for, like, global warming. But it does make me sad. I like the interconnectedness of, like, globalness in that way. Anyways, I technically have the numero one in that. Then I'll have the holy trinity of Hudson Williams magazines. Oh, and my life will be complete. LOL. It's not that serious, but it will be very exciting for sure. The only other one that I wish existed, because I was like, the Timid one didn't exist, the numero one didn't exist, and I was like, oh, those would be, I want those to exist. The one that I want to also exist is the GQ Hype. Oh, please, please. What was that, GQ Italy, like Italia? Please. I mean, at this point, we're hitting like 6-7 months since it was shot, but oh my gosh, I would buy that magazine. And then whoever, is it Harper's Bazaar? Whichever one put Hudson in emo makeup and his like little, whatever, I don't know, where he like looks real sad and his makeup's off. I put that in a spread, babes. I would buy that magazine as well. Please. Please. they did a Connor story for like Interview, because Interview is like $10. I'd buy that Interview magazine with when he did his like moment, but I don't think they ever put that into production. I think that was just simply digital. Because I was on the lookout for it. I didn't ever see it. But speaking of Connor, the only magazine of his that I own is the Vogue Adrenia. Is that how you say it? I don't really know. So those are like my prized possession magazines. I don't really know if this video was helpful or if it was interesting or I don't know, but I thought I would show the world some of my favorite physical media in the shape of magazines. This one out of all of them is my favorite because I love the feel of it. I love opening it. I love the pictures. I like looking at it. Like I look just like the heft of this magazine. Like I feel like a cool kid. Like yeah, I read magazines. Yeah, I collect magazines. I'm too cool for school. So, and it's just a bummer too that none of these were collected at magazine stores because where I live doesn't have a magazine store. So my only chance to get a magazine is Barnes & Noble. And they need a better selection, in my personal opinion, of like fun magazines. But I get it, they're probably not selling very well. And when I'm in Austin, I go to Tomo. It's a small magazine store with a coffee shop inside of it in downtown Austin. It's been open now, I think, like 2 or 3 years. That's really fun. They have things like Timid there, and they have Wonderland, and they have like sports ones and weird other ones, and the ones, a lot of ones that are in different languages. That's really cool. And then in Dallas, if you're in Dallas, you have Fine Print, which I think is only open, I think they keep a little bit of weirder hours or like non-standard hours. And I want to say that's in, oh my gosh, is it in Deep Ellum? Oh, don't quote me. I don't know Dallas very well, even though my sister has basically lived there the entirety of her adult life. I still don't know the city. But Fine Print, that one's really cool too. They have an array, I would say, just as much as like Tomo. So that's really fun. I just wish Houston had one because I would be there at least once a month for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you didn't, well, live your best life. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.